finally on a whim one day, she sent me that building, which I'd seen a million times, being in the village. And she's like, or you could always run a bed and breakfast. And I was like, oh gosh, like I have always wanted to restore an old building and, do a bed and breakfast. And here's another new big house I could fill with energy. We went and looked at it in October and it would not leave my brain. I started an Apple note, of all the things I would do to the rooms and the names I would have and the things I'd have in the room, right? And it just wouldn't leave. Find out what the passion is about it, because there are going to be really hard times that make you want to quit. And if you don't remember your passion about it, you're going to walk away from it. And just that nagging voice that kept being in my head made me realize, this is it. So funny enough, I was like, well, I'd been also searching for another corporate job just for security's sake. So finally I pulled the trigger in January and I made him an offer, but I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a real job to pay the bills. I'm going to totally pull on savings to do this, but whatever, God won't let it leave. So here we go.
Welcome to the Studio 321 podcast, powered by Brightway, the Steve Trout Agency. We're sitting down with real estate pros, insurance nerds, mortgage masterminds, and local legends who are making moves on the Space Coast. Hosted by the best insurance crew in the 321. At Studio 321, it's all about community, real connections, and sharing a few laughs along the way. Strap in, let's launch into today's episode. Our guest today is Kristi Everingham, 16 years on the Space Coast, 25 plus years as a global business and technology leader, currently at ServiceNow. Mom of 5 daughters, a community builder, and since February 1st of this year, owner and proprietor of the Parrish Grove Inn, a restored 1901 historic boutique inn right here in Cocoa Village. How she got from there to here is a story worth hearing. Her motto, things always work out the way they're supposed to. Let go of trying to control the outcome. Welcome to Studio 321. Kristi, how are you?
Thank you. Gosh, that's easier said than done sometimes.
I know it. It's when I read that, I was like, it is hard not to control, not to want to control the outcome. And especially for you, somebody that's got their hands in so many different things, right? And you want it to be perfect.
Yeah, all the time, right? I think a lot of people struggle with that when they're growing up. Just this, I need to be perfect. And having 5 kids actually helped chill that out for me a little bit, right? Yeah. When the more kids you have.
The first one I feel bad for, because you're just the second one, third one, do whatever you want, buddy.
Yeah, we got you.
And you have 5, so.
Yeah.
And then twins at the end.
That really made things go chaotic.
That's the grand finale.
That's when you were just we're not in control anymore. This is all happening on its own. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and kind of what shaped you to where you are today.
Oh, long stories. No, I mean, I've always... I would say probably around in my mid-20s, I started to realize the importance of community. I was married at the time. I had a newborn. We were living in Denver. My husband was in the military. We didn't have a lot of friends. And just feeling that isolating piece. I worked from home, so there just wasn't connection.
Social, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I just started to realize this thing is important, this community thing. And I remember talking to my dad, who lived here at the time, my parents, I just want to live somewhere, Mom and Dad, where I know people. And he's like, you want to see him at the grocery store? And I'm like, yeah, that would be really cool.
You're just trying to get you here.
I know. And so I live here now, and I love it because I do see people at the grocery store, and I have people everywhere that I know and that I feel that connection to and really a part of a community. So I think that's always been sort of my motivator since my 20s of just how do you find a place? Mm-hmm. And how do you create a place, quite frankly, that people want to be a part of, whether that's you as a person or spaces that you create that people want to be in. I mean, I think in a nutshell, that's kind of how I wound up getting all the way to the Parrish Grove Inn, through all the different things.
Do you want to talk about, how you were in a corporate job for so long?
Sure.
I mean, are you still doing?
Yeah.
So you're doing both?
Yeah. I mean, I think... when I first started out after, I grew up in Cincinnati, and when I moved out to California right after graduation is when I started falling in love with like cute, charming places. And that's like Carmel, California is adorable. And then I lived in Lake Oswego, Oregon, and all of these things were so adorable. And so then when my parents wanted me to come here, I mean, Cocoa Village, Tropical Trail, these were all the things that made me be like, oh, okay, these are adorable and charming here too. I could do this area. And the weather was much better than Portland, Oregon weather at the time. And so, I mean, since I've been here, I've always loved like the cute things that are happening in Cocoa Beach or Cocoa Village or Melbourne. Or
I mean, look at Surfing Santa, how big it got.
I mean, huge. There's just a real opportunity, I think, here to see the character of the
It's weird.
places.
Even
They're all
like
different.
he and I both left for college and we came back. But every time I drive over the bridge, I'm like, okay, this is why I love this place.
Yeah.
And you know, we go out to dinner sometimes and we're like, we used to know everybody. Now there's so many different people, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's grown and changed. And I remember you too looking at like the Harvey Grove thing. This thing to find an inn was always your dream. So how...
Yeah, it is. I've always, I mean, so I started in corporate right out of college. Well, I worked for Clint Eastwood first. That was like kind of what took me to California. And I was doing golf. My family's huge into golf. My dad was a golf pro at Savannah's for a long time. And my brother's a caddy on the tour. And I grew up in his golf course and I wanted to be in the golf world. But so that's what took me out to California and to working for Clint Eastwood. And after that, I was like, you can't live in Carmel, California, and make $13 an hour. Like, this isn't going to work. So I was going to leave, and one of the members there at his golf club, they were all really wealthy, really, like, high-level executives at different companies that I knew nothing about at the time. But one of them said, you know, how about you come work for my company if you're going to leave golf? And I was like, sure, I'll come work in a marketing organization. And that was the start of my corporate career, and I went for 25 years. And throughout all that time, I was raising my family, and I was the breadwinner, and it was just sort of like, you can't quit this thing. It was like a drug. You had to keep going if you wanted to sustain your family. But I always had this thing in my head, like, I'd love to be an entrepreneur. Do I have it in me to do that? Like, I think it'd be so cool to create something really unique. So, yeah, many times, even when I was married, we would look at ideas like Harvey Grove that I loved, that old building. They've now, they've now torn it down. But I was like, this would be such a cool, like, old brewery with a event space. And, I'm always loving, like, reviving these old places.
I would have loved that. That would have been awesome.
Would have been cool. And, like,
that was when you first moved here. Yeah. You were looking at that.
I was, because I had young kids, and I had been inspired by different, like, breweries in Nashville where they would bring, like, a pizza truck and a band, and you could just play as adults and kids and enjoy, you know, that kind of space. We still don't have anything like that here, really, unfortunately. I'd still, if I just had more capital, I have more ideas. I need more money. But so I was always looking for something like that, to be honest. And there were different fits and starts and things that always held me back. Like, oh, I don't have the time, or I don't have enough money, or I don't have, like, the, you know, whatever, the connections. And in April of 24, I wound up getting laid off from my job, and I'd been at SAP for years. I mean, that whole career, and I'd grown and done a ton of different things. It was a fantastic opportunity, great company. But I was like, okay, wow, this is a good reset. And my uncle had just passed away, and some of my kids had left the house and were moving on to college and their grown-up lives. And
all the stars aligned.
Yeah, and I only have a couple now, and my house is so empty now. Like, I used to have this really big, full house of busyness all the time, and now there's a lot of quiet in there. And so it was
Picture
sort of
Home Alone.
Yeah.
Where the family is packing and leaving.
We definitely left children at times. That happened. So it was just an inflection point where I was like, maybe this is the time to do something different. And it's kind of funny because I have a realtor friend, Jen Penna, who's amazing. And I kept, like, making her take me to places during that downtime of being laid off. And I got a lovely severance. So I was enjoying, like, just downtime after 25 years.
Time that you never had to yourself.
Never. And it was summer, so the kids were home, and it was just lovely. But I'd always be like, hey, Jen, I'm thinking about starting a laundromat. Can we go look at some places? So, you know, so I was always bugging her. Finally, on a whim one day, she sent me that building, which I'd seen a million times, you know, being in the Village. And she's like, or you could always run a bed and breakfast. And I was like, oh, gosh, like I have always wanted to restore an old building and, do a bed and breakfast. And here's another new big house I could fill with energy that mine's leaving. So it was really funny because we went and looked at it in October and it would not leave my brain. Like I started an Apple note, like of all the things I would do to the rooms and the names I would have and the things I'd have in it, right? Like, and it just wouldn't leave and
that was
wouldn't
the start.
leave. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I read this book at the time that was about second acts. And one of the things it said is like, find out what the passion is about it, because there are going to be really hard times that make you, want to quit. And if you don't remember your passion about it, you're going to walk away from it. And just that nagging voice that kept being in my head made me realize, like, this is it. So funny enough, I was like, well, I'd been also searching for another corporate job just for security's sake. Mm-hmm. And, but I was like, oh, I don't know. I just don't think I want to do it. I'm going to do this. And so finally I pulled the trigger in January and I made him an offer. And How
long had that building been vacant?
It'd been for sale, I think, for almost like 7 or 8 months before I made, and then I sat on it for like 3 more months where I was like, I don't know, and kind of I lowballed them a couple times just to see if they would do it, and they didn't go and they didn't bite, and so it was about February that I was like, all right, Jen, I know what number they want now. I'm just gonna make this offer, but I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't have a real job to pay the bills. I'm gonna like totally pull on savings to do this, but whatever, God won't let it leave, so here we go. So I made the offer, they accepted it, and that was on a Thursday. And on Monday, I got this call from an old colleague that is just a great guy, and he's like, hey, I know you've been looking, and I've got this job, like, I don't know if you'd want it, you'd work for me, and I know we're normally peers. And I was like, okay, yeah, David, I would love this job. Like, it's a great company, ServiceNow. I was on my radar of one I wanted to work for. And so I accepted the job offer, and
now you have income coming in.
And all in the same week.
Confident.
Yeah, all in the same week. And I was like, oh God, you are funny. Like, I was just going to bite this off without any plan, and then you threw this in front of me. So, okay, let's just do both. Yeah. So I really quickly pivoted to, okay, this is going to be your full-time job, Kristi. To how do you do this with also keeping like this, corporate job? And so that's kind of what I've been on that adventure for the last year, basically. Yeah.
So how long did it take you from the time you purchased it to opening?
Yeah, I closed on it on the end of May, and we opened February 1st.
Oh, wow. So you guys moved pretty quick.
Not even a year.
We did. And, I mean, it was in really good shape. They had done some really great caretaking over the years on it. And there was a real estate office that owned it before me, and they'd done some updates. But
how does it work? What are the, logistics about buying a historic house?
Yeah. The biggest part is that because it changed use from being a real estate office to now going back to being a bed and breakfast, because there's history, right? It used to be a bed and breakfast.
You had to get the zoning change and all that. Yes,
which made all the new codes have to come up.
Okay.
So I had to put in fire sprinklers and fire alarms and all these things that they didn't have to do back in 2010 or 20 when they were a bed and breakfast, because they could grandfather it all in. So that was a big one, and that was hard, because it's like, there's got to be a way around it, right? For a while, I would sit on some of these things like, there's got to be a way around it. Do I really have to have fire sprinklers? I mean, it's such an expensive thing, And I was also worried about how it would look aesthetically and ruin the building. And we had some really great vendors that did a great job at doing this. And it looks great. You would never even notice them if you're in there. But it took a while. And I will say, because I knew I was going to do the corporate job, I really quickly was like, how do I do this? So I hired one of my very dear friends, Bonnie Bell Guido, who's a great caretaker. She actually had worked for me at SAP as my assistant, so I knew we already as friends could work together.
Vibe, yes.
Which is, something people always make you nervous about. Like,
it's a scary situation.
Yeah.
If things go south, so does your friendship.
Yeah, and we'd been friends for 10 plus years before that. But she's fantastic. She came right in and became a general contractor, basically, through construction and all of that.
So she was on site to oversee everything.
She was there every day with all of the contractors, running the things, finding fixtures, finding things, like making it easy for me to just sort of dip in and make a decision and back out, And, it's all growing pains. We're all learning. And now we've shifted kind of into running the business versus building it. Yeah. And that's a whole different animal too, right? She's there every day. She's got great customer service, and she's like the face of the inn, and meets with people who want to do events.
I think of like Sweet Magnolia. Have you seen that show?
No.
Oh, it's a cute show. It's it's a Southern show. I think they're in South Carolina, but she opens.
Okay. A lot of people always say Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
They're like,
or like Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Yeah.
You know.
So how many rooms in the inn?
There's 6. They all have their own bathrooms, so they're completely private. Yeah, and then the whole downstairs space is common space, where we have a dining room with seating for 12. You could do like baby showers or board meetings there.
And you guys just did a derby day.
We did a derby day. It was so
awesome.
Fun. Yeah.
I always see your events. The pizza one looked really cool.
Pizza on the porch. Yeah. That's where we're kind of just trying to figure out what makes sense, right? Right now it's a very small group of like Bonnie Belt, my sister Jill, is great with events. So she's also kind of come on board now and helping out with some of those like hosted events that we're doing. Hannah, my oldest, is our social media coordinator. Jen Penna, my realtor, is now there doing breakfast for us sometimes. Like, it is awesome. A family affair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Family and friends affair, which it makes it a lot of fun for us to participate in it too, because, even pizza on the porch, I mean, my sister and I were in the kitchen making 60 pizzas that night, but we had a blast. And, we walked away at the end of the night and we're like, this wasn't work. This was actually like a fun thing to do, which makes it really nice. Yeah.
How does it work, like, with guests, like in the future, if you're having an event? Have you ran into that problem where they weren't? Do they usually just jump into the event, or they're
sometimes like Derby Day? We did have guests that they were actually they're cool. We get to meet the coolest people because of this. So they came by boat. They're cruisers, like on their boat up the river. They wanted to be in our marina in Cocoa Village, but it was full. So they went to the Titusville Marina, parked there, got in an Uber, came to Derby Day, stayed with us for the night, and then went back to their boat. Awesome. So, sometimes they just hop right in and they do whatever. Other times, we're normally really careful about quiet hours. Like by 9, if we do an event, we normally try and end it by like 9 in case they're not participating. And if we're doing an event, they're not allowed to go upstairs. Like that's private for guests.
Gotcha.
So we try and respect that. I think sometimes we just have to trial and error it, I mean, in the beginning, like that was a conversation we had. Are guests going to be bothered if we're having an event down here? But if you go to a hotel, there are events. There are other people around, and you just...
We went to a hotel in Philadelphia.
Like for me personally, if I was a guest and you had a thing going on, I'd be like, sweet.
Like let's hop in
entertainment.
Here. Let's hop in,
We went to a hotel in Philadelphia. We had all the kids with us, and we didn't know that at 10 p.m. it turned into like a full-on nightclub. And we were like...
That was a little different.
Thank God it was like 40 floors up.
We'll keep it on the PG at the Parrish Grove Inn. Yeah. I think I wish that we could figure out, and maybe this will be part of our evolution of like how to make it feasible to do like a restaurant on Friday and Saturday night, so anybody can pop in and if you're a guest or just the community. Or happy hour or things like that, because I do want it to be a place that everybody can be a part of it, even if you're not needing to stay overnight.
Yeah, like
there.
You're in the village walking around and say, hey, let's go see what's going on at the inn.
We have a great back porch. That was one of the things that we did. We built this
like
beautiful
a bar,
back porch. Like I would love to do that at some point. I mean, right now, if you stop by, that's not an option.
Yeah, but that'd be awesome. Even last night, we ate at Cafe Margot.
Yeah.
And there were people that were just sitting at the bar, and I was like, oh, I never even thought about this place to just like pop in and have a drink. So that would be a cool...
Exactly. But it's hard because, I mean, with running a business, like everything has a cost to it too. Right. So if you're not making a revenue that's big enough for your cost, like, is it a good idea to do? And that's what I'm learning as a new entrepreneur is like, how do you balance that? Oh, it's just a cool thing to do with an awareness building versus like, okay, but we're killing ourselves and not making any money. So.
Yeah, I wonder if something like that, maybe you start like just doing it like 2 nights a week, just a trial, right?
Yeah. It is fun, and I do think that is the right approach. We have a lot of people reaching out, like other businesses that want to collaborate, which I think is super cool. Yeah. There's just some different things that we're getting ready to try out. Like Rebellion Wine Bar is going to do their wine education classes at the...
Oh, that's awesome. Like a wine tasting.
Yeah, they do it right now in their restaurant. And, by the time this will have aired, you'll know that they are going to be shutting down in the village. And so but they want to continue to collaborate and be a presence in the village. And so... we want to think about ways that we can do that with them because they've got a great reputation and there's some good stuff there.
They're just keeping their Cocoa Beach location.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to keep their Cocoa Beach location, but they're great. And so we've talked about like, ooh, could you do supper clubs there with us, that are just like every now and then when you want to test out a new recipe or something like that. Like, I think those are the kinds of things that could be really interesting. Yeah. I want it to be, I want the inn to be a backdrop for people's ideas. I don't need to run it all. In fact, I'd rather not. Like, I'd rather just create the space that people can come and use and we figure out how to make it work for everyone.
So what's your favorite event you guys have done so far?
The pizza on the porch was pretty fun, I have to say. It wound up just being, at the end of the night, this collection of people sitting around on the porch having drinks and hanging out. And just that energy and the feeling of, like, everybody being there was great. I wish I could have figured out how to get out of the kitchen a little more, but that was really fun.
I saw the photos from that, and I had a little FOMO.
Yeah, good.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It looked like a good time, for sure.
It was, and I love that. I mean, the thing that I think is interesting is I know people from all over different parts of my life, right? Like my book club and all of my great friends from there, and you guys from my early days of living here. Like, there's just people all around, and they're all great people. Like, I love that this could be a place that they all get to intermingle here in this space too, and realize, like, the idea of that supper club, I'm like, I would love for that to be 6 unique couples that have never met and just see what transpires in that conversation around a dinner table. Like, that's fun to think about putting together, Because
everybody has a different path and a different story.
I really think this inn, like, fits you well.
Oh, thank
you. Obviously me and Diana have known you a long time, and we've been to your house plenty of times. You host amazing parties for family and all that. And, we've had some really good times with you at your house and everything. And, when I saw the inn coming together, because you did such a good job on your house remodel.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the inn coming together with all the photos, and everything, I've been watching from afar, and I was like, man, this is perfect for her. It just fits you. It fits your personality. It fits who you are.
Yeah.
Like a community person. And it's been really cool to watch. So I'm super proud of you for doing it. And,
thank you.
And you took a leap of faith. There's
Huge
no doubt, right?
leap of faith. I'm still taking it. But thank you. I do feel like that made it easier knowing it was kind of an extension of what was already pure to me, and just sort of like opening it up to beyond my little core group of people that I do these things with already.
Yeah. And I feel like with any business in the beginning, it's, trials and tribulations and what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah. You got to like fail and fail fast and then move on, right? And just let it be like, oh, we tried that didn't work. Let's keep going,
Yeah, and that's part of it.
Yeah. It's true.
But I see this being very successful. I think the community is excited about it. I think that,
for sure.
Especially like I love the idea of, you were saying, if you guys can get it to a point where, people can just come in from their stroll around Cocoa Village and have a quick drink or stop by for, maybe you do some live music every Friday or something. Making it up. But
no, I love that. I mean, this Friday actually is Iration in the village, and we're sold out. We've got the whole house full, people coming in for the show. Love and even that, I'm like, I'm just going to go at 3 and open up the bar and like have a little happy hour for anybody getting ready and hanging out, Like, that's kind of fun too. It's what I would want to do if I was coming into a place.
And it's kind of cool
like
too,
that.
because you can kind of micromanage all that. Like, you're going in because you want to and you want to serve the guests that are at your thing, but it's kind of cool because every day's different. Every weekend's different. Every event's different.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I've been trying to get comfortable with since we opened is not letting it rule me, but let it be what I want it to be. Because, it is so easy to just, people are reaching out, do this, do that, da-da-da-da-da. And you can stay busy, 100%. But am I a slave to it, or is it this is what I wanted to do and this is how I saw it kind of coming, out? And that can shift and change over time, of course, but I just don't want it to burn me out.
Your business should work for you.
That's kind of how I've been trying to put it on because, Monday through Friday, I'm at a desk at home corporate service now all day. And so then if I'm dreading what I have to do on the weekend there, like I've had some of those weekends and it's just sort of like, man, this is a grind.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a grind. It's supposed to be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
but it's good that you found something you're passionate about because that definitely helps you get through those weekends where you're like, all right, got to do this.
Yeah, totally. And then really enjoy your downtime when you're not doing any of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what did your family and friends say when you told them that you were going to buy this? Did they think that you were crazy or they were supportive? Or?
I would say it was mixed. Overwhelming support, though, frankly. Like, right? I think, like any good parent, they're going to have reservations because they just don't want to see you overdo things. Right. Like, I am a single mom. They know I already carry a lot. Yeah. They don't want to see me fail. But they're all, everybody's so supportive. Certainly, like, my, friends are just, like, my biggest cheerleaders about it all the time. And my family, too, of course. But, yeah, I think there's always that, like, ooh, are you taking on too much? What does this look like kind of thing.
But I feel like you're one of those people that like to be busy.
I do. As I'm getting older, I'm trying to, like, get okay with not being busy more.
I know. I have some friends that say yes to everything, and he always told me, just say no. Say no.
Well, because what I'm starting to realize in my older age about it is being busy all the time can make you miss some of the things that you should be savoring more, like my children's time, like my time with them, right? Like 3 of them are almost out of the house. Well, 2 are definitely out of the house. 1's almost out. Yeah. I only have 2 left. Like, when I am so busy, wait, where was my time to just, like, sit and hang out with Olivia and Kennedy, you know? Yeah. So I'm trying to not let that be my mantra and make it be a little bit more about what actually matters to me versus just staying busy. But, yeah, I think in general, everybody's just been great about it, honestly. And the community, too. I mean, the city of Cocoa was, I would never have been able to get through. I mean, permitting is hard, guys. Oh, yeah. If you've never done that, that is hard stuff. And I don't know how people do it. I mean, starting a new business is no joke. You don't know anything. So if you don't find people along the way that are like, here, let me help you.
Right. The people that know.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And thank you for ChatGPT also, by the way, because starting a new business without that would have been a lot harder as well. I know people can have a lot of negativity about AI, but there's
AI is
he
fantastic.
loves Claude now. He's moved on.
I know Claude is.
Claude's the new thing.
And then I'm one of the people that I've used ChatGPT like 3 times.
I love it though. I mean, it's a big part of our business now.
Yeah.
It just is. Honestly, if you're not using AI right now, you're kind of behind the 8 ball.
100%. 100%. I want to be. I think. Sometimes people are pivoting. Well, that's a whole other probably podcast, but people can pivot and use AI for things that maybe we don't need to be using AI for, right? Like we forget that our brain actually can process too. We just like throw up in AI and be like, make sense of this. Wait, I should actually put those pieces together myself.
Yeah, and in your business, I mean, like in my business, we're using a lot of AI to kind of change the customer experience a little bit.
Yeah.
And that part of it worries me a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like you kind of almost lose that connection, right?
Yeah.
Which doesn't really play a role in your business. I mean, your business is really about the human connection, right?
Yeah, and for sure. The Parrish Grove Inn,
the experience, the whole experience there. So,
and that's, I think, one of the reasons why places like this can thrive right now. Because in this culture of like, automated everything, don't talk to anybody, like, hey, people, we still are human and we do need to connect, and people want to do that in unique and interesting ways. I mean, even just the like going out to dinner is kind of boring for people nowadays. I feel like they're looking for maybe something a little bit
at
more.
Their phone the whole time.
Exactly.
I mean, I could see too, like a lot of locals just going, "Hey, let's spend the weekend at Parrish Grove Inn."
Yeah, we're gonna definitely do it.
The village is such a fun area.
It is. It is.
I just see it being a cool little like weekend getaway for people.
And there is so much to do. Like, even as people who have lived here and you feel like you know it all, like even just renting bikes and going up and down River Road if you were staying there local for the weekend, that's probably not something you do very often, Or there's like a place called My Maker's Mark, I think, My Maker's Space. They have like a black light room where you just put on a hazmat suit and go throw stuff at the walls. And like there's things you don't even know that are there. Yeah. The painting with a twist. Like there's a lot there that I don't think as locals we necessarily do.
Cute boutiques.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple new restaurants that are opening up and good stuff happening at that beer garden. And there's lots of stuff, I feel like.
Such a cute little area.
I know. I'd love to get somebody that has a sailboat that's willing to do like private stuff like that, where I could refer that to my inn, like right there off of the Lee Warner Park, like, hey, go meet their kayaks or the sailboat.
Is there like paddleboard, anything paddleboard, kayaks, nothing in
not in the village right now. Nope.
I know that there is.
I think there's an opportunity for that, though.
I'll have to look it up, but I know Manatee Cove has like kayaks that sit there, but I think the company is like mobile, like they'll go wherever.
Where they come and drop. I have to find that out because that'd be great for guests to arrange.
And all the bioluminescent stuff's coming up. And
yes, that's a big one that people come into town for. We had some guests come for that, actually.
So when you think about the inn, let's try to pull out the crystal ball. What is your vision for the inn over the next 5 to 10 years? Like when you what would your ultimate, where you look back and go, wow, we really did it, and this is we're having insane success, right?
Yeah.
What does that look like for you?
Well, I think on a business level, I would love for it to be, this sort of self-running. It doesn't even need to make $1 million, but just like this self-running thing that we're not stressing about money. As a business owner, I feel like I'm always stressing about money.
Yeah.
So I would love for it to be like a full book of business and a weekend restaurant and happy hours, lots of fun events that people want to have there. That energy. I guess I'm looking for that energy to just sort of stay alive there. And then one of the things that kind of drives me and made me want to keep the Parrish Grove Inn name is people have memories there already. And so I just want to add to that. I want to know people have stories about, I had my wedding there and things like that.
How long was the Parrish Grove Inn an inn before?
About 10 years.
Okay.
They ran it and it was probably a lower scale operation than what we're trying to do, right? But tons of people have stories. They sat on the back porch, they drank cognac, whatever. Yeah. They did all the things and smoked cigars, and they have stories for days. And I love hearing it when they come in. And I just would love to make the next set of those memories with the space that we've created now for people, people having their baby moons or... we've got some weddings on the books already. That's going to be super fun to see happen.
Baby showers, bridal showers.
We did a bridal shower already. That was really sweet to see. And it's fun to see what people do with the space, too.
Yeah. Any big events coming up that you want to touch on?
Yeah. So there's a really cute company called A Picnic Affair. They reached out, and we're going to do a ticketed event where she's going to set up all our picnics on the back patio and on the back lawn and have some live music and some vendors and little bar action and stuff like that, which I think is fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's another girl that is local, that woman that is local. She's young, she's in college, but she was really looking for that sense of community too. And she does all of these meetups where they'll do a Pilates class and then have punch or whatever.
You can do yoga on the
porch. So she's going to do
done that one yet?
We haven't done that yet. I'm open to somebody coming and doing that. She's going to do a hot girl walk.
I know a yoga instructor.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. I'll compare notes. She's going to do a hot girl walk down River Road, and then we're going to do a brunch for them, which I think will be fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love these ideas of people just kind of coming with.
Yeah.
I feel like the ideas are endless, too.
I know,
there's so much to tap into.
That's it. That's why we can't do it all, and I need other people to say, or just for them to say, I have this idea to do it, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. You do it. We're here. We'll support.
I provide the space, and you take over.
Yeah, and we'll promote, and we'll help support, but we can't run them all, or we'll lose it.
That picnic in the park sounds cute. I remember my girlfriend lived in New York, and they did something in Central Park, and I was like, why don't we have cool stuff like that? But we do.
I love it. I know. I love it. And there's actually right next to us this big, huge lot that right away I was like, ooh, we could put tents on it. We could project movies. We could have
movies
Coco
in the park.
at Christmas and things like that. So, so I think there's a lot of, I think I'll probably run it till I run out of ideas, and then I'll just be like, all right, somebody else take over.
So if businesses or I guess anybody wants to throw a party or event at the inn, how does that look? What's that process look like? Yeah,
so you can always find us at our website, theparrishgroveinn.com, or call our main number, stop by. Bonnie Bell is there most days, and I'm there on the weekends a lot. Other people are there, and most of the time you can just stop by. Or call ahead. We love it. We love having different event types. We've got all sorts of things that are coming up from people just wanting to use a space.
Yeah, what's the range you think, to how many people?
Our sweet spot?
Yeah.
I would say anywhere from 30 to 70 people is kind of our
wow,
sweet
okay,
spot.
so that's-
70 would mean we need to also be using the outside space. So
Yeah.
like in the heart of August, maybe smaller.
Yeah.
So you're not sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to be pleasurable to be outside.
It's going to be a lot to be outside at those
Yeah.
temperatures. But the way the sun works, too, it is shaded in the evening. So it's also kind of nice.
So summer months, like 30.
Yeah.
Winter, nice. Fall months.
I see it as just an amazing event space.
It is.
You know,
It
like if you're a
is.
real estate office wanting to do an event, I mean, what a great
Yes.
spot to do it.
Yes.
We're going to do a happy hour there.
I love it. Even if I think about we've done some corporate parties too. Rockledge Gardens hosted their Christmas party. So I think that season will be good. We've got graduation parties coming up. But yeah, even realtors, I've been saying, you have people that come in town to look at properties. Like, why wouldn't you want to put them in Cocoa
Here.
Village?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a cute area. They can walk around and see what's so great about it.
Love
You
that
know?
idea.
That is
So-
perfect.
Send them our way. Right now we're trying to tap into the cruise industry, right? We have a lot of people that come before and after and
And I
spend
feel like the
time.
village
Yeah.
has gotten better as like a point of
Yeah.
place for people that get off the ship because, I mean, it's the coolest place. I
Yeah.
mean, you got downtown Melbourne and O'Galley, but
Yeah, and Cocoa Beach, but the nice thing about Cocoa Village too is you can walk to anything.
Yeah, and it's so different.
You stay where we are, and you can walk to any spot you want in the village. So if you have a couple days to kill before or after, it's not a bad spot to be.
no, it's perfect.
Yeah, we really like it.
Awesome.
We're happy.
So before we started this episode, I said, Kristi, you're kind of like a Wonder Woman. You got a lot going on all the time.
Yeah,
A full-time job,
yeah,
running an inn,
5 girls.
5 girls.
that's true.
That's incredible.
A lot of emotions
Anytime
in that
anybody has
package.
more, so we have 3 boys. Anytime anybody has more than 3, I'm like, you guys are crazy.
No, my brother has 4, and he's like, you have like 9 kids, and he's like, I have 1 more than you. And he's like, but that one's like 9 more.
I amplified it. Yeah,
Well, not to mention your last 2 are twins. So
Yeah.
that was a
all at
curveball.
once. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, big family, inn, full-time job, co-founder of Cami.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Cami a little bit.
Yeah.
What is it, and what does it do for the community?
Yeah, it's something that I came about in 2020. My girlfriends would sit around in our book club and talk about just where we live, and we've all been well traveled and seen really cool things. And we're like, man, Vieira's got all this great stuff going on. Cocoa Beach does, Cocoa Village does. What is going on with Merritt Island? Like, why can't we do something about this? And, I'm a big believer in you can sit on the sidelines and criticize what's going on, or you can lean in and try and do something about it, which is kind of how we all felt. So we incorporated a nonprofit in 2022 called Community Advocacy for Merritt Island. We don't have a city.
Right, that's hard. That's why Vieira has what they have.
Yeah,
They're
that's
a
why
city.
all of those do, right? They have people whose full-time job it is to advocate for money and funds
It's
and projects and all
You see
of
the
those
potential of
things.
Merritt
Yeah.
Island. It's so frustrating. Like, we were supposed to get the Trader Joe's, and it didn't
Yeah.
come because they wanted to go to Vieira.
Right. And I think there's no one that is sitting there advocating for that every day on our behalf as Merritt Island. But the thing is we've got a beautiful space. Like, we have more river, coastline than any other part of Space Coast. The homes are gorgeous. Like, the community is great. The schools are good. Like, we really aren't great with business around Merritt Island, unfortunately. So anyway, the mission was really around not so much business, but that's a big part of it, and like promoting how we can get better businesses. But it's really around conservation and beautification and just civic
keeping it clean
education.
and-
Like, how do people even find out about things in Merritt Island? We don't have a paper anymore. Like, it's so. Since 2022, we've been doing different beautification projects. We've been, one of our annual traditions that we've tried to create is the holiday illumination event in December that we do at the Veterans Memorial. Kind of trying to make that space be our hub of community because we don't have a downtown.
And they did a really good job with that new park. I
Yeah,
just walked
beautiful.
it the other day for the first
And
time.
the amphitheater's great.
Right.
And so I think there's a lot of potential in that space. So we try and draw attention to it with that holiday illumination event. And I think we've done 3 years, up to like 1,000 people who attended every year.
Wow.
This year we're going to do like a big bang of Merritt Island Christmas with the parade and the run that we do now there, and then the tree lighting afterwards, all in one day. So it's just sort of like Christmas and Merritt Island Day.
You have any good news for our mall?
I wish. The mall is a really tricky one because all of those anchor stores own their real estate. And so you can't just have like one big developer come in and take over. You've got to now work with Sears and Penny's and Macy's.
I didn't realize that part of it.
Yeah, so it's only the inner space that you can. So my idea is tear down the whole inner space, leave the anchors, and build like a nice outdoor space that has shops and restaurants. But again, I have ideas, no capital anymore. We
put it all into the inn.
I mean, I would love to see the area down by like Grove and McLeod and all that really turn in. I envision that as being almost like a Cocoa Village.
Yeah,
like a mini.
Yeah. Honestly, there's a lot of great
stuff.
stuff
Like where you can really park and walk around and spend the evening there.
Yeah.
And
you guys should have come to our first ever Merritt Island sip and stroll that Cammie put on. It was great. We had like 150 people show up. 15 plus businesses participated. And
so did a lot of people bring like food like vendors in? Because down there's only, is there Ola and then Bally Bar?
Right. So it was more about
the Grove.
Yeah, there were a couple of restaurants, but then we also had just even like the insurance businesses that were there would set up a tent.
Doors.
Gotcha.
Reef Realty did, Tradewind Builders, like a lot of those businesses opened up and just had a tent out front where they had some drinks, that they served and some snacks.
I was wondering how
it was all of them. But what we found too is that Ola and Bally Bar and Garden on the Grove, they all were so busy that night. We brought so many people down there that enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was great. They're all like, when can we do another one?
That's awesome.
And we raised a lot of great money. The money that we raised is going to go towards signage at the beginning of that neighborhood because to your point, it is charming and we do need to bring more down there. And I think a lot of people don't even know that exists in Merritt Island.
No.
So
I know. My brother comes from Tampa, and I'm like, it's downtown Merritt Island. And he's like, Diana, there's barely anything there. I'm like, but it is. It's like the heart.
We love going to Ola.
Yeah,
what a cool spot.
It's a great spot.
And if you could kind of build on that.
Yeah.
I mean, what an amazing place that area could be.
I agree. I love Garden on the Grove. I think that's adorable.
Little
and Bally
old houses.
That's where the charm is of some of the architecture that we have in Merritt Island,
Keeping it the same.
Yeah.
Updating it and making it into something new.
Exactly. We have a lot of, the concrete block homes in Merritt Island that were put up really quickly back in the space race. And so you just don't have like those bungalows and cute, unique spaces back there like you do.
So before we start to wrap up, what is the one thing that you definitely want people to take away from this as far as the inn goes? Like, what do you want them to really be thinking about when they think of the inn?
Let us share your milestones. Let us share your, great things that are happening in your life and use it as a place to connect with other people that you don't know already, right? Like-minded people who just want to have a little bit more of an experience in the way that they, gather and feast and stay and all of that. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that's it.
I think that's a perfect way to end it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in and spending time with us. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You're an awesome guest and an inspiration. So thank you for what you're doing with the inn. I think it's really cool. I think Cocoa Village should be super proud to have you. So
thank you.
All right.
We appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in. It was awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. That's a wrap for this episode of the Studio 321 podcast, powered by Brightway, the Steve Trout Agency. We can't thank you enough for being part of our journey. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with a friend. Until next time, 3, 2, 1, we're out.